In Modigliani's model that we just finished, the model depended heavily on average lifetime income, that is y hat by t. And we said that the current consumption is primarily determined by, depended on this average lifetime income. But if an individual is performing consumption smoothing and the primary determinant is average lifetime income, then Modigliani's model assumes, so Modigliani's model, okay, or hypothesis, whatever you might say, it's a Modigliani assumes a certain regularity of income, certain regularity of income. Because if a person is able to smooth out consumption over his or her lifetime, which is dependent on average lifetime income, then this ability of doing or performing consumption smoothing, okay, it assumes a degree of regularity of income. So that means with a level of certainty, we know the ups and downs that are going to come to the current income. The first point of departure of Friedman is that Friedman disregards it. Friedman disregards it. Okay. Now, naturally, if Friedman disregards it, then before going into how the consumption function will look like, we need certain new definitions of current income and the irregularities, okay, because regularity is assumed in Modigliani. So irregularities of income. Now, to that extent, permanent income hypothesis, which I wrote as PIH, okay, permanent income hypothesis defines two kinds of income. So two kinds of income. What is the first one? The first one is the permanent income, from which the hypothesis derives its name. So permanent income, we symbolize it at YTP. So permanent income at time period T. What is it? This is the average lifetime income that we have observed in Modigliani, right? So Friedman defines the average lifetime income as the permanent income, and the errors or the irregularities are defined as transitory income. That we denote as YT, which is definitely defined in this way, so that we can write this line: current income equal to permanent income plus transitory income. Okay, so this is the idea of behavior of income over time that is put forward by Friedman. Now, to the extent of what PIH says, it does not differ much from the earlier model. So PIH, that is permanent income hypothesis, said that current consumption varies in proportion with, let's write it in English, varies proportionately with this permanent income. Okay, so PIH states that current consumption varies proportionately with permanent income. Okay, so that's why obviously it will be called permanent income hypothesis. Now, if we construct the indifference curves or utility functions and the budget lines just the same way we have constructed in Modigliani. And if we call this average lifetime income to be the permanent income as defined by Friedman, then we can say that at optimal, what will happen? Ct will be equal to A naught by T plus YTP, right? So this is given asset is fixed in the short run. This is the constant, right? This is our constant in short run. And so consumption, current consumption depends on permanent income at period T with A naught by T constant, obviously in short run. Okay. So then you can easily guess what will be the next line. It is this, that if YT, capital T, that is transitory income, does not affect, if transitory income does not affect permanent income, then it does not affect current consumption. So that is the result. If transitory income, or rather we will put it like this, if changes in transitory income, so if changes in transitory income does not affect permanent income, it does not affect current consumption. So that's why you see from this statement and the definitions of permanent and transitory income, it sounds like the transitory income is basically an error and permanent income is the trend value of current income, right? And this is correct. That's how actually it has been defined here. Okay. So with an idea of econometrics, you can treat this transitory income to be an error, which obviously over lifetime can be positive or negative. And just like we assume that expectation of error is 0, in the long run, we will assume that the changes in transitory income cancels them out. Okay. Or as we say in macroeconomics, that it smooths out. All right. Now let's look at the diagram. In the diagram, it will be more clear. So this is our long run consumption function. Okay. So it starts from the origin, and just like it varies here, consumption varies with permanent income. So that means if I look at this point, and if I say that this is my permanent income at period 0, then the consumption that we will get is C naught. Now, let us consider the short run consumption function going through this long run point, like Modigliani's. Okay, and let's say it looks like this. So this is our short run consumption function, which goes through this long run point. Now, current consumption, right? So now consider another permanent income. So what will be the consumption? The consumption will be C1. Okay. Now, what is the transitory income? The transitory income will be obtained from the short run consumption function. I'll go at it again. Let's take this point. So from the, let's take a point on this line. So at this point, Y1P is the permanent income and the corresponding consumption is C1. But in short run, the transitory income, in terms of short run, the transitory income corresponding to this C1 is Y1T. So what do I see here? This is the amount of error, YU, right? Okay. And similarly, if I take another point here, let's say this is my YP2, then this will be C2. And what will be my transitory income? My transitory income will be this one. Okay. So then again, here will be my YU. So obviously, at this point, between these two, transitory income is higher than permanent income. So I have positive error. And here, transitory income is lower than permanent income. So I have negative error. Okay. So this is how we can see how permanent income and transitory income are related to consumptions. Okay. Okay. Now we have defined CT to be a function of permanent income, right? So CT depends on permanent income. Now, if I extend this statement a bit, I can write this. I can write that CT by YT depends on this ratio. CT by YT depends on the ratio between permanent income and current income. Okay. What is my CT by YT? It is simply the APC, average propensity to consume. Okay. Okay. Now let's erase the diagram. And let's see how Friedman's hypothesis explains this difference between short run and long run. Okay. Okay. So he said that APC, that is CT by YT, depends on the ratio of permanent income to the current income. And obviously, current income is a sum of permanent income and transitory income. So we can write this. Now from here, it is very clear that if current income rises above permanent income, what will happen? APC will reduce, and obviously vice versa. Right? Now you can compare it to the diagram that I have just drawn, that if YT goes over permanent income, that is my transitory income, increases, then APC reduces, and vice versa. Now, from this observation, or from this result, you will analyze the short run, long run discrepancy. Okay. Okay. So what we are saying is that if I consider a high income group, if I consider a high income group, so consider high income group, it will consist of, it consists of some people with high transitory income, high transitory income. Obviously, in short run. Okay. So, for example, consider some people who suddenly come out with lottery, or just some incentives, or some income from some other sources. So that makes a person who was basically probably of middle income group suddenly join the high income group in a very short span of time, right? Now, then high income group will consist of that person also who has a high income because of transitory income. But we just saw that if transitory income increases, then APC will reduce. So if I have this phenomenon, if I have this phenomenon, okay, then it will draw down APC. Okay. Again, if I consider the opposite situation, if I consider the opposite situation, then in low income group, there will be people with low transitory income. So there will be, in low income group, there will be people with low transitory income, and that will increase APC, right? That will increase APC. And obviously again, in short run. This is the reason that in short run, we see that APC does not go hand in hand with income, or as we say it often, that this is why MPC is less than APC in short run. Okay. And what will happen in long run? Just the way we said it, that in long run, things will smooth out. So, in long run, changes in transitory income, YT capital T changes, will smooth out. Okay. So this is how permanent income hypothesis explains the long run and short run, both phenomenons. Okay.